And we're back at Black Sea Offstage Talks, and our guest at the moment is Paco Conde, the co-founder and executive creative director of Activista, an agency that aims to change the world for the better through creativity and does amazing work to prove that. Paco, how are you enjoying Georgia and at Black Sea so far?
I'm very excited being here. My first time in Georgia. As I mentioned yesterday in my talk, one of the greatest privileges of my job is to come to these places, to meet people, to meet new cultures, and being able to share the stage with people that I admire. More importantly, in front of a crowd that I felt that they were getting inspiration and they were like had a great vibe. So super happy to be here. I'm very honored.
And this year's topic of the festival is devotion, and you and your agency have been devoted to driving positive change. Before that was a long road, great number of great works through great agencies, and your fair share of awards and fame. What was the point when you decided you wanted to serve the purpose of positive change through advertising?
Well, it's been a journey. I think what changed everything and what it gave me a conviction of using my creativity to provoke positive change was in a few projects that we produced in Brazil, especially one, Immortal Fans, when one of our ideas helped literally save lives. We gave a reason to millions of football fans to become organ donors. We told them your passion, you can keep, your heart can keep beating for your team even after you pass away, etc. So we created the first organ donor card for the football team. So that project had a profound impact on me. And then I decided from that moment on, I decided to start encouraging my teams, my clients to think like activists. And it changed the way, even like in my creative process, it changed the way I tackle briefs. I always wanted to start working and using my creativity to not just solve the business problem of my clients, but also at the same time trying to provoke a positive change in people's lives and the planet. So
I would imagine it's not always easy to prove to your clients that the campaign can be for good and it will be good for their business as well, because clients often demand business results as well.
Yeah, but everything is connected. I mean, now more than ever, your values generate value, right? People demand from brands not just great products and design and price, but also because now we have more access to information, we know more about the CEO, we know more about the values of the brands, we know what brands stand for or against, and sometimes the relationship, actually the most meaningful relationship between brands and people are those that elevate to like a more emotional. So we are not anymore just consumers. We are not anymore just, brands doesn't want just to have a commercial relationship, but also a more emotional relationship, and sometimes even become allies to fight for the same things.
Very true. Paco, it said in your bio that you believe that creativity is a superpower. And I believe a lot of people at the festival would agree with that. But if it's not a secret, could you share what's your kryptonite and how do you battle through it? What keeps your devotion on track?
Well, I mean, I think it's a fact. Actually, we Homo sapiens survived because of our creativity. We start telling tales, we start like creating gods and beliefs. And that's what made us survive, not like other species. So creativity is, for me, is a lifestyle, right? It's not just a job. I need to create. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's something that is like a breathing or like a, like my heart beating. So creativity is how I live, and I'm very fortunate that it's also my job. Obviously, it's not easy to create. It's not easy to pull off things. But I think even, when you need to take risks. You need to convince other people, because creativity in our field, in advertising, is not art. It has a commercial purpose. Therefore, you have a client. You need to convince. You have shareholders, etc. But I think it's part of the process, and nobody said it was easy. And probably if it were easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. What caught my eye throughout your speech was importance of being very specific and narrow with briefs, rather than sharing every information and telling them to come up with new ideas. How does being so specific and narrow fuel creativity?
Well, for me, that's the most is the pillar of creativity. It's, again, we creativity in our field is not for the sake of creating. We need to solve business problems. So the brief is the most important piece of the creative process. Is the starting point. And sometimes clients tend to overcomplicate briefs. And trust me, if you don't have an inspiring brief, if you don't have a simple brief, if you don't have a brief that makes you feel something, you won't be able to make people feel something or understand what we are going to say with the final product, let's say. And that's why we always ask our clients to give us one-line brief. And it's important not just what we are going to put on the brief, but also, more importantly, what you are going to take off, right? And our version, our theory is, when you have too many things to say, it's very difficult you are going to have limitations of ways to express those things in a creative idea. And on the other side, if you have a very simple brief, you are going to have a lot of possibilities and a lot of much freedom to express that brief in a creative way.
Thank you. And to bring our interview to conclusion, let's get back to Ed Black Sea. What do you think? What sort of change can this festival drive to leave its positive mark on this country or on the world?
I think it's about inspiring. It's about helping the local market to have a more international approach, maybe bringing people from other countries. And I think it's all about inspiration. It's about, I saw a lot of young people here. And I think, it's the same way I grew up. When I was a young creative, it was about reading, award festivals, attending to conferences, etc. For me here, the aim of this festival is about, one, bringing people, speakers with different experiences, with different visions, because diversity is very important in creativity, sharing our experiences, people getting inspirations, and also with the festival, giving awards to the best work of the year is going to help people to build their criteria, their taste, and that's very important. That's the most important thing, actually, that a creative needs to have: a taste, a criteria, what is good and what is not. So festivals are really, really good to also connecting people, networking, but the most important and most valuable thing is helping build criteria.
Thank you, Paco, for being devoted to your craft and for joining us
Thank you.
on Offstage Talks.
Thank you for having me.